Hey there everyone, it's Housing Holly, giving you the 211 lowdown on fair housing and what that really means in today's society. The topic of the day is what can you do for FHRC? Fair Housing Resource Center, Inc. is a free resource that is made available to the residents of Lake Geauga in Ashtabula County, Ohio, whose primary focus is to ensure that your rights are not violated and that everyone has equal access to housing. Have you ever been in a situation involving a housing provider where you felt concerned about what happened? Have you ever felt as though someone treated you unfairly in your search for housing, but you didn't know who to tell? Many individuals' rights are violated in their search for housing that often leave them stressed and frustrated. Some individuals may not know that they have been discriminated against during their search for housing. However, no one should be subjected to any form of discrimination, regardless of their race, color, national origin, familial status, religion, disability, and military status in Ohio. Many individuals face some form of discrimination in their search for housing and fail to report it. There are individuals within the community who can help make a difference, and there are many things that can be done to ensure that we live in a community where discrimination is a thing of the past and everyone has an equal opportunity to live where they please. So what can you do? Record your experiences. When you are searching for housing, you're often calling 5, 10, sometimes 20 places in search of housing. It is very difficult to remember all the details that you receive. It is a great tool to document each phone call, who you spoke to, what number you called, and where you found the advertisement. With this detailed record, you have the ability to remember all the information that was given to you, and that way, if something happens, you have the information available to report it. Discrimination is no longer a simple statement refusing to rent to you. Today is more subtle and leads to be less direct. One example would be that you drove past a unit and saw a for rent sign and called the number to speak to the housing provider. Once you got in contact with the housing provider, they informed you that the unit has already been rented. However, 5 days later, you drive past the same complex and the sign is still in the yard. That could be a subtle way that a housing provider refused to rent to you. Oftentimes, people will dismiss these signs. However, they need to be reported and investigated. If they refused you in the past because of being deaf, their race, or their religion, without individuals speaking up, we have no way to know that this type of discrimination is occurring in the community. Another way to help is to tell your friends. Small agencies such as ours often have limited resources to educate the community on their rights in housing. Word of mouth has always been the #1 way of educating the community and informing individuals that we are here. Think about it. Everyone you meet is part of a protected class. Whether you're Black, white, Christian, disabled, a mother, a father, and so much more. Everyone has a right to housing choices. Most individuals don't know that we have service available to help them and that this is what we wish to do. Word of mouth does wonders for agencies and allows us to continue to provide the much needed services to our community. So I bet you're wondering what happens if we report a housing provider. The first thing that FHRC would do is investigate the claim. If the unit is still available, we will contact an individual with similar characteristics as you to have them contact the housing provider to see if the same treatment was given. If the claim is proved true, we would then allow you to make a decision for yourself. FHRC works hand in hand with the Ohio Civil Rights Commission to ensure that landlords are applying fair practices across the board. We would then give you the decision to file a complaint against the housing provider in your name, which would give us the ability to ensure that the landlord received proper education on fair housing rights and to ensure they won't do it again in the future. Or we can also allow you to withdraw from the complaint and our agency will file it on your behalf to ensure that other individuals in the community are not being discriminated against. So last but not least, speak up. I know that sounds overwhelming. However, if individuals don't speak up on the actions of others, there's no one to hold accountable for the unfair housing treatment people receive. Our main goal as an agency is to not exist and to become a thing of the past because everyone is treated equally regardless of what they look like or how many people are in their family. There are many things that you can do to assist your fellow residents and to ensure that everyone is receiving the treatment they deserve. Click the link below for more information on fair housing, subscribe to my channel, and look out for upcoming videos. If you want to ask a question, shoot me an email at housingholly@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching, and Housing Holly out.